Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some reads that I've put down and really want to pick back up. So the first being How to Make Friends with the Dark by Kathleen Glasgow, and this is a really good read. Like, I typed it up and I'm just 100 pages shy of finishing, but I read this at a time where I couldn't really read about grief and sadness, and it is quite sad. I probably shed a few tears. But this basically follows Tiger, and unfortunately her mom passes away. But yeah, it's not spoiler or anything, it's literally in the summary. But yeah, I knew this was going to be sad, but I just didn't know how sad. I didn't expect for us to really dive into the relationship Tiger had with her mother. Yeah, I couldn't handle it at the time, but now I'm kind of like in a better headspace. So yeah, really excited to finish this book and maybe give it a review. So the next one I'm going to be talking about is a collection of poems by Langston Hughes. I think these are all of his poems, maybe, perhaps. But I love Langston Hughes. I respect him so much, and it's so interesting reading Black poetry because the only other Black poetry I've read is Elizabeth Acevedo's The Poet X, and love that. But this is in a time where it's the Harlem Renaissance, and I'm so fascinated by the Harlem Renaissance. I read one of his poems when I was doing my high school online, and I was just so amazed because I'd never really seen into that time period as a Black person before. Like, I mean, you definitely see that time with like white people, all the historical fiction, but never really with Black people. And I also want to read some Norazil Hurston, I think that's how you say her name, and she was friends with Langston Hughes until she wasn't. I think they had like a big falling out, but just always in the mood to read about Black lives. The next one is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. I never can say that right, I don't think. But this, it's a lot. Like, the plot is very heavy, which is what kind of stumps me because I like character-driven stories, but I haven't really gotten to know the characters yet. I only got to like 50 pages. But this is basically set in a world where there's no more death, and I think the Scythes, is that what they're called? Basically, they're the death bringers. And I think they pick like a few people a year to kill, I think for population reasons. And yeah, I don't know, because I was reading this at a time where I was in a fantasy slump. I know this isn't really fantasy, I think it's more sci-fi, but I just wasn't really in a mood to read things set in other worlds. And so I'm really excited to pick this back up because Thunderhead has been out for a while, and the next one's coming out next year. I know I'm gonna like this because I'm just in a fantasy mood. But yeah, I got into a bunch of contemporary because of Jocelyn, and she's just so good at recommending like new adult and young adult contemporary. I'll link. So the next is actually a classic. I do not read classics. I know I should read more. The only ones I've read are, yeah, just The Color Purple. I also have Peter Pan, but this one is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and I got like 150, 200 pages through this, like honestly years ago. But yeah, it's been a while, and it's obviously been a while. You can see on the cover. But Jane Eyre is like this very lonely girl. I don't really remember what it's about, but I remember she's very lonely, and she lived with her aunt, I think, and her aunt was very cruel, and I think she's sent off somewhere and then offered a position, and like I think we just basically follow her whole life. And I do like lonely characters. Like, that's one of my favorite like tropes. I don't know if that's a trope, but I just like that trait. Yeah, I need to get more into classics, but I really prefer classics with people of color in them. But I want to read more about lonely characters, so I think it'll be a good challenge for me to read this because I think I need to read more challenging books. Okay, so the next is Airfire by Sarah J Maas. I know what you're thinking. I know a lot of people do not like Sarah J Maas, and I've critiqued her before on her lack of diversity, but I do like her writing. I remember like I got back into YA and reading because of A Court of Thorns and Roses, which I'm rereading this year. I can't wait. But this is my first reread. So yeah, I'm rereading these books, and for some reason I always stop at Heir of Fire, and I'm on page 338. And honestly, the only reason I like this book right now is because of Rowan. I love Rowan so much already. I love grumpy characters. But yeah, I always stop at Heir of Fire because I hate Selena. I hate the main character. She's very I don't know how to explain her. She thinks it's all about her. She's selfish, and like, she has grown. I'm not gonna say she hasn't grown, but Julie, she is in my group chat, and she is the Thornglass stan, and she says Selena gets a lot better after this book. So I'm going to finish it in September and maybe start on Queen of Shadows next month. And we basically know what this is about. It's about Selena, and she is a assassin until she gets sent to the mines of Andover. It's been a few months. I don't know if that's what it's called, but she gets sent to the mines, and she's a slave for a while. And it's basically following her journey. But that's what Throne of Glass is about. I'm not going to spoil it because obviously events have happened. But yeah, I need to read the rest. I have a whole Sarah J. Maas shelf, and I feel like it's just taking up space if I'm not actually reading her books. Okay, so next book is Once and Future by Amy Rose Capetta and Corey McCarthy, and I love the fact that they are like partners in real life, like romantic partners. I saw Corey McCarthy on a panel, an LGBT plus panel on at Y'all West when I went to Y'all West in May. And I loved the things that they said. So yeah, it's such a cute cover as well. Like, how cute is that? I love pink and black together. But this is basically about Ari, and I think she is running like for her life, maybe with her brother. But it's also about this wizard, Merlin, of course. It's an Arthur retelling. So yeah, it's about this wizard, Merlin, and this king Arthur has been reincarnated like a bunch of times, and Merlin is waiting for the king to be reincarnated again. But Ari is going to be this reincarnation, and obviously she is a woman, and they're going to try to defeat this curse. I love like Merlin. Like, I love that show. I love that show so much. And this has a sapphic relationship in it, I believe. So that's going to be really interesting. And I just love the tale of Arthur. And yeah, I think this is going to be a really fun read. I only put it down because, again, I wasn't in a mood to read something set in another world. Okay, the last book I want to talk about is Van Gogh's Letters. I am obsessed with Van Gogh. Like, it's a problem. Van Gogh is my favorite artist, and I don't only like him for his art. I like him because of like his whole life story and his struggle with mental illness. So this is basically him. He wrote back and forth with his brother, and this just details his life basically. And this also has a really good art in it. All of his art. The thing I find so amazing about him is his struggle with mental illness, that, without romanticizing it, by the way, but that, and just like how he saw himself in his last days. And yeah, I'm just obsessed with Van Gogh, and it's the reason why I love Sunflowers and The Color Yellow. Okay, just kidding, I forgot one. I forgot Strange a Dreamer. This was the one I really want to talk about anyway, but Strange a Dreamer is this is by Laini Taylor, and I love this book, but the writing is a little too much for me. It's amazing writing. Like, it's one of the best writing styles I've ever encountered, but yeah, it's kind of hard for me to read that. And I was also, this is like my second month reading for a year. Like, I went a year without reading, and then in February I decided, let me just pick up Strange a Dreamer. No, that wasn't gonna work out. So this follows Laszlo Strange, and Laszlo is an orphan, and I think he lives with like these monks, and when he's older, he's like he goes to a library and he's an apprentice librarian. But when he was with these monks, an old man told him the story of the lost city of Weep, and he just gets obsessed with it. And as an apprentice librarian, basically the whole reason why he goes is to investigate this myth, and he believes wholeheartedly in it. And no one really believes him, but then events ensue and he goes on a journey, you know, trying to recover this lost city of Weep. And also it follows another person, Sarai, I don't know how to pronounce that. I didn't listen to the audiobook, but she is like the daughter of a goddess, I think, and she's trapped basically in this place because there was like a war going on in Weep. But yeah, so this, I really need to get back into this. I'm going to try to finish it next month. No promises, but I need to at least read like at least 100 pages. So yeah, I love this book, and I just put it down just because of the writing style. I'm like actually in love with the story. So yeah guys, that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.